Hey everyone, I'm showing you a quick way to make money on old school RuneScape. A lot of you guys already know about killing dragons. Today I'm showing you how to kill blue dragons. A lot of you guys already know that killing green dragons and killing blue dragons and killing black dragons and all this stuff, it's decent money. It's not like amazing money and it's not like shit money. It's average money. It's pretty good. This is how much I get a trip usually. This is just to show you. This is about 70k. I usually do get rune daggers sometimes. I usually do get nature runes, and I usually sometimes get soul dragon heads worth 20k each. So sometimes the trip can be averagely, I'd say 70k to could even be a little bit less than 70. No, that'd probably be good. You can get around 70k to 120k, I'd say, a trip. I was doing the math here of how much I'd be making. Now, take into consideration these are my stats that I'm going off by. So I'm not sure to help you on the other stuff, but you can probably take a rough estimate of what you'd be making. I am doing these on a Slayer task, so I do have a Slayer helm while I'm doing these. I usually only kill these things with a Slayer helm on, or from a Slayer task, I mean. So the Slayer helm obviously does give me increased damage and accuracy when I'm fighting them. That's one factor. I do use super attack and strength potions, which is, I generally say most people that are ranging or anything, I don't know, if I range or use melee, I always bring super sets. Like, even if I'm using range, I always use a ranging potion. I don't know if everyone does that or if some people don't or whatever. But, they're pretty cheap, so I'd recommend bringing them anyways. That does increase, obviously, the overall damage you're going to be hitting. And another thing is I do have 7 agility, so it makes the trips a lot shorter. If you don't have 70 agility, I don't know how much you're not going to be making, but it is quite the journey around. And I assume it wouldn't be too long if you used a bunch of staminas, but also paying for stamina. Staminas are pretty pricey, so that would be some money you're going to be losing there. Overall, I think you're still going to be profiting at the end of the day. And sometimes I do flick piety. So when I flick piety, I can kill these things really quickly. So I'm not flicking piety when I did the math here of how much I'd be making, but basically when I did the math, I did 10 minutes of killing dragons, saw how many I killed, and then I did it again and again and again, and I was averaging around the same for my level and stats. So I was getting about, if I was collecting the bones, I was getting about 550 to 600k GP an hour if I was just collecting the bones. If I was collecting the D-hide and the bones, I was getting about 900 to 1 mil an hour. And I never knew this. Like, I averagely thought I would be making about 500k an hour here, like tops. That's what I thought my max would be. Maybe like a little bit more. But I was actually like really surprised to see, like, holy crap, I can actually make 1 mil an hour here. Like, that's really good. It adds up over time, and they're pretty easy to kill. They're AFK. Like, at my level, I don't have to pay attention too much. I don't have to worry about too much of dying. And also, if you're doing range, you can just range them over here where you can see my mouse is. There's a safe spot there. A lot of you guys know about this. Like, basically a crap ton of people who've killed blue dragons have been down here. Like, most of you guys are familiar with this area. I was just very surprised, and I kind of want to share with you guys. Maybe some of you guys obviously don't know how much you can actually make here. You can potentially make a lot of money here. And I had no idea about it. If I wasn't using a Slayer helm, I think for sure I'd be making less money an hour. I would still think I'd be making about 800k an hour, and I also think if I brought Falador teleports, I can make a lot more an hour, because when I was counting the trips, I was actually walking all the way back to the bank, and then I would come here and walk all the way back. So if I probably had Falador teleports, I'd probably make the trips a little bit quicker. But these things are pretty good. They're also pretty good for training your stats up. Like, they're not too hard to kill. Like, they're pretty easy to kill, so it's pretty good XP. If you're ranging these things, though, you can just save spot them. So even if you don't even need high range requirements to kill these things, I do recommend 70 agility. It's not required, but I do recommend it. It's pretty good to have. But even if you don't have it, you can range them, and you can just hide and you can range them, and it's a pretty good way to level up your stats slowly, and another good way to make money. Most of you guys know that by now, but they also drop soul dragon heads, which are about 15 to 20k a piece, I think. I'm not too sure. They could be less now. I haven't even checked in a while, but they also drop a lot of nature runes. So if you're getting rune daggers, nature runes, and soul dragon heads, if you get pretty lucky, you can get pretty good money from these things. I am also going to do another video on gargoyles and wyverns, I think, of how much exactly I'll be making off those. But I am basing 100% off how much I'm making off my trips, by the way, guys. And I am pretty AFK when I play these things. I do like to watch YouTube, and I like to watch Twitch and stuff when I play. So I'm not even grinding out as hard as I could to make, like, the best potential money I can make. So that's also another thing. I have 96 range, so when I range these things, I can take them out, I think, a lot faster than I can with melee, if I'm wearing full void or even if I have a Slayer helm on. But if you have around, I'd say even 70 range is probably really good to kill these things, because I do kill green dragons on my ult, and I have like 50 range on it, and I can kill green dragons like super quickly. So I assume like 70 range would be really good for these, and it's a good way to train your range and make a lot of money, as I said before. This is basically just a little quick thing of what I do. I start at Valley West Bank, if you guys want to know exactly what I do, and I come down here as you saw in the beginning of the video, and then after I'm done my trip, when I fill it up, I walk all the way back, and I bank, and I repeat the process. And I keep doing that until my Slayer task is done, and then I usually don't do it again. I haven't really done this for actual money, but I do make, obviously, when I do a Slayer task, I usually get about 160 to 200 of these things sometimes, so I do make I make some good money when I'm actually killing them on my Slayer task, which is good, because a lot of the Slayer tasks I get are like Blood Velves and Hellhounds, you know, stuff that you don't really make too much money off, so it's good to get stuff like this every once in a while that are easy to kill and you make some good money off of. So that's basically it. If you do know how much you make, how much GP you make an hour off this for lower levels, please post it in like the comments down below. Be like, hey, you know, I got 70 range and I make this much GP an hour. It'd pretty much be really helpful for other people, because I don't really know how much you'd make off, how much money you'd make an hour for other people. Like, it's kind of going off by my stats, so it's not too helpful for everyone, and it would be a lot helpful for people to find out for their exact stats how much they would make. But thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you guys later.